Under this objective, the growth of GDP is not treated as an end in itself, but only as a means to end. Therefore, it focuses on outcomes of the increased income and to realize the desired outcomes. It is recognized that the end outcome growth is reduction in poverty and creation of employment opportunities, improving access to essential services like health, skill, education, and so on, and particularly so that one can reach to the backward classes or SCs, STs, OBCs, and other backward minorities. Now, about sustainable development, it is an approach to growth and human development that aims to meet the needs of the present, but without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This means that fruits achieved now should be sustained in the future. United Nations defines the goal of sustainable development is to promote sustained, inclusive, and economic growth. The aim is to have a society where living conditions and resources meet human needs without undermining the ecology and social frame. Now about entrepreneurship, as you know, that entrepreneur means is a person or group of persons who take up business or businesses and assume all financial risks, not on the basis of other objective, but is the objective is the profit. So profit motive. So entrepreneurship is the process of designing, launching, and running a new business. Its capacity, its willingness to develop, organize, manage, and business venture, along with any of its risks to make a profit. So given this profit motive, better to call this as private entrepreneurship, as distinct from social entrepreneurship. Now we are focusing on particularly the rural sector. So in this category, rural entrepreneurship appears most important in view of the fact that India is mostly the rural-based country where majority of the country's population lives. Therefore, rural areas suffer from poverty and hunger, poor infrastructure, and poor living conditions. So it is the entrepreneurship which concerns about value addition to real resources, engaging largely rural, human, and non-human resources. Such an entrepreneur operates in a variety of fields such as commerce, manufacturing, and services. It acts as an effective engine. In this category, of course, one should talk about the SMEs, small and medium enterprises, which also play a very crucial role to inclusive growth and sustainable development. SME is a key contributor to employment and value creation. OECD observed that SMEs represent more than 90% of all firms and are a main source of employment. They're responsible to generate 50% to 60% of value added on average. So SMEs are the major contributor to driving economies and society's major transition. While private enterprises are playing a very important role towards growth and economic development, but the primary consideration is profit motive. Therefore, social values, objectives, and benefits or welfare are relegated to far behind. This sometimes contradicts with the objectives like inclusive growth and sustainable development. Hence, social entrepreneurship is encouraged and promoted. Social entrepreneurship addresses various problems, particularly the problems of the bottom of the pyramid. India, being a developing nation, has its own social challenges and social development issues. Social entrepreneurship can resolve all the social inequalities, including gender inequality, illiteracy, and other issues like child abuse, water, health, electricity, and financing. Now, for successful operation, the important need is that they will have to be more innovative and realistic vision and foresight. So continuous technological development is required, which will match to solve the problem of the rural sector. At the same time, sufficient awareness is to be generated. So one way to generate this is to introduce this as a topic in the curriculum and providing training and imparting proper education. It is also important that basic infrastructure and other facilities are to be provided. Funding is always a constant, so there must be some ways that government should come forward. Also, when we talk about microfinancing, the idea which came from the Nobel laureate Professor Yunus, implemented in Bangladesh. But ultimately, it depends on the stakeholders. There are various stakeholders. Of course, agriculturists, farmers, other NGOs, of course, governments, and ultimately the people. So cooperation and coordination is essentially required. To conclude, the area is interesting, relevant, and of course challenging, but there is a vast scope of applied research. Already there are lots of works done and are presently going on. One purpose of this seminar is to encourage the researchers, in particular the young researchers, to take up the research projects in this area and contribute. Evaluation of the objectives and to what extent these objectives are reached or possibility of reaching. This is an important question. Developing new knowledge and ideas is essential on the way to achieving these targets. Since there are more than one stakeholders, and those who are interested in theoretical works, possibly they can apply the tools and techniques of the game theory, because game theory is a very powerful tools to solve this type of problems. And accordingly, they have formulated the problems and solved. In the last, I thank you all for your patience. I do hope that today and tomorrow we shall see or experience a lot of interactions and discussions on the subject, and it will also be a good learning to us. I wish good health for everybody and success of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful overview of this National Rural Entrepreneurship Summit. Now it is time, in fact, our Honorable Director, Madam Professor Sanghamitra Bandyopadhyay has joined us online. Professor Sanghamitra Bandyopadhyay is, in fact, she encouraged us to organize this National Rural Entrepreneurship Summit. That is her idea, in fact. She has always encouraged this kind of seminars and symposiums, especially focusing on rural youths and rural development. So, without taking much time, now I invite our Honorable Director, Madam Professor Sanghamitra Bandyopadhyay, to deliver welcome and inaugural speech. Ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I cannot see the full audience, but I hope Professor Sukumar Mishra is also there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I cannot see him, but I would like to welcome Professor Sukumar Mishra and all other colleagues, all other participants in this event. I know Professor Sukumar Mishra, I don't know for how many years now. Good morning, and thank you for coming to our Giridih campus. Professor Mishra has been a very good friend for a long time. Maybe he remembers how many years. I don't remember. It's been so long. From when we were very young young faculty members, so maybe 15, 20 years, I don't know. But it's thanks to him. Thank you, Professor Sukumar, that you took time off from your busy schedule. I can understand how busy it must be running an institute. And you've come to ISI Giridih Center, and our proximity, the proximity of IIT ISM Dhanbad and our Giridih branch. We hope that your visit here and through such programs, closer collaboration between our two institutions will start in the future, which will benefit not only the local population, but also the state, our state and the country in general. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Professor Haricharan Behera for organizing this summit on entrepreneurship for inclusive growth and sustainable development. Indeed, we have been speaking on this particular topic for some time now. And these days, especially in Eastern India, whenever I meet groups of students, I try to tell them, I convey to them that research, knowledge generation, and academics, industry, all these are very, very important career options. But at the same time, particularly in Eastern India, the students also have to think of entrepreneurship, because that is where this part of the country is lacking a little. Other parts have gone ahead quite a bit. So we have to be conscious of this fact, and knowledge generation as well as retaining the knowledge in the country through patenting and protecting the intellectual property, that this is very important, as well as doing translational work so that knowledge gets generated. More importantly, jobs are generated. We cannot constantly be looking for jobs given by others, by the government, but if those who can come forward and through such inclusive growth and sustainable development, these are also very important terms, that if the growth is exclusively for a few, then it really will not serve the purpose of this country, the purpose of the society, and the societal upliftment will not happen. And it has to be sustainable, because what we do today, it should not be that we've used all the resources so that the generations to come do not have anything left for them to enjoy the life that we have enjoyed. So we have to be inclusive, we have to focus on sustainable development, but at the same time, entrepreneurship is something that we have to focus on, that about entrepreneurship as a career option. And this is where I thank Harisharan Behra, that he took it upon himself to organize this summit, get the like-minded people together, plus IIT ISM Dhanbad, because being sort of an engineering institute, technology institute, the focus on entrepreneurship is more than what it is in ISI, but ISI also has to imbibe these possible paths of growth. And I have heard Professor Tarun Kobiraj already saying a bit about Professor Mahalanobis. I would urge the participants here to look up the history of the Indian Statistical Institute, which is an institute founded in 1931 by Professor Mahalanobis. And the vision of this institute has been inclusive growth. It has taken in its folds variety of subjects. In fact, Professor Mahalanobis himself was a physicist by training. He taught physics in Presidency College. It was a chance introduction to statistics, which led him to learn more about statistics and its applications. He started doing statistics with applications to real life problems. And that is how Professor Mahalanobis flourished. That is how the objective of this institute was, the foundation of this institute was laid. And that is what we are trying to take forward. The legacy of the Indian Statistical Institute is something which we are very proud of, and we struggle to live up to that legacy. And the newer generation which is joining the institute would not only have to live up to that legacy, but outshine it. That is where we want growth to happen. And we have to be ahead of times, if not at least with the times. We have to adapt, we have to change, we have to see where the world is headed. And ISI has always prided itself for thinking out of the box, thinking ahead of times. And that is what we have started this year also. For example, we started our third bachelor's degree just a couple of weeks back, which is Bachelor of Statistical Data Science. And this has started in a unique mode, I think unique mode for the entire country, where it is a hybrid classroom program. So our program has started in 3 centers, Delhi, Bangalore, and Kolkata. Simultaneously, the students are sitting in classrooms in these 3 centers. The teacher is in any one of these centers. So if the teacher is in Delhi, then the Delhi students get the teacher physically in the class, while the Kolkata and Bangalore students get the teacher virtually but live. So this is the best solution we could think of using our resources which are distributed over the entire country. And if this model, we hope this model succeeds. It has at least till now worked reasonably well these couple of weeks. If it succeeds, it can actually open up avenues for different institutions across the country in collaborating, in giving very interesting programs. The best educational experience that a student can have, we would think that this model may be adopted by the country in the years to come. With those few words, I thank Professor Behra once again, and I thank Professor Mishra, Professor Kobiraj. I could see Professor Shwandip Mitra also in the audience, and all other participants who have joined this event. I hope the discussions that you have over these 2 days will bring up newer ideas, will throw up new avenues for collaboration and for entrepreneurship. And our students will also get encouraged, inspired, and at least some of them may think of taking up entrepreneurship as their career options. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam, for your wonderful inaugural speech. In fact, you have never said no whenever there is a request from our end, especially in organizing seminars, workshops, or any summits. This has been truly commendable. In fact, we have been motivated because of your such words. Now we have another distinguished speaker, the Honorable Director of IIT ISM Dhanbad, Professor Sukumar Mishra, who deliver his keynote address. Sir, I request you to deliver keynote. Thank you.
Good morning, dignitaries on the dais, participants, other invited faculty colleagues, and Director ISI Calcutta. As she has already told, really she was one of my very old friend, and our friendship more or less started when we get both together the INSA medal in 2000, way back 2002. After that, we have a lot of research collaboration, research interaction. And in the initial days, I was also working in artificial intelligence, way back 2000, I'm saying. And gradually, I changed my domain to actual electrical engineering, not into the algorithmic application of AI. And then now, as a trained electrical professionals, my domain is renewable energy. My focus is on solar photovoltaics. And again, the focus of India is changing towards hydrogen in the energy sector. So I am also moving in that direction. I hope the audience are different faculty members. Is that correct? And students. And you are trained with statistics. Is that correct? Or multidisciplinary? Very nice. So the focus of this program, if you see, is bringing entrepreneurship into the rural environment. Now, the first question is, why do you need entrepreneurs? And is it having societal acceptance? These two things need to be understood properly. It is just like, see, when we talk about entrepreneurs, when we talk about startup, when we talk about opening a small business entity, we as a faculty member, we as a speaker, it is very easy to give a bhasan. Correct? On the other hand, when it comes to the reality, you think maybe I am seeing quite a young group and also a mix of maybe around their 50s. Now suppose, imagine those who are specifically in 50s like me, I'm putting a question to them. If your son or daughter wants to open a startup, will you encourage? Or you will tell them to do a job? Do a job, right? So that is the first point. Because I faced the same thing with my son. And that's why I experienced that. To give a case, same thing what I experienced in my home. He passed from IIT Delhi in 2000, in 2020. Immediately went into a very highly paid job into Boston Consulting Group. Within 11 months, being in Boston Consulting Group, 11 months, some 20 days or something could be, changed the job, went to Carlyle. Carlyle is a private equity firm. They gave hefty money to him. The package went something like 1.5 CR, which I never can imagine in my lifetime probably. But after 2 years, maybe 3 months or something, immediately resigned without any second thought. Then I asked him, what are you going to do? Then he told, no, I will do a startup. We all get thrilled because it is not acceptable to us. Then we try to put a lot of questions. First question I asked him, okay, no problem. You want to resign, you resign, not an issue. But will you be able to maintain your lifestyle that you are maintaining with 1.5 CR? With that, you are going to a restaurant and spending 50,000 rupees, nobody will question to you. But tomorrow, if you ask me to give 50,000 rupees, I will not give you 5,000 even. Well, I don't have that money. Should you accept it? Then his reply was, whatever saving I have done is probably more than sufficient to maintain me for 7 years. Then I ask, maintain you for 7 years is okay. I don't need any financial support from you. That is also okay. But now coming to the society, how many of our parents are there who do not need financial support from the children till the age of maybe 35? Almost, I will say, maybe 0.01% or not even that. So what does this say? My society demands that a young, talented person should economically support the family in the first go. And that is more happening in the rural sector. In the urban sector, somewhat the parents or the family members, they are all little bit financially upgraded due to many different activities. But in rural sector, it is not. So, considering that startup or entrepreneurship is a need, we should also think that how do my society accept it? And it is a long process. It cannot happen in day one. It is just like you look back to our society. Maybe if I give my example again, my mother, she is now 86. She was a principal of a college. And at that time, I am saying, means maybe around 1950, 60 around, when she was going to the college, it was a story in the society. People were coming to see her. She is going to his college. But now what is this situation? Now all girls are almost, maybe some of the boys are not reading, not going to the literacy lesson. But I will say girls are probably much literate than the boys in the society. Is it not? So why this transformational change happened? Because our society went on accepting this process. And it took maybe 60 years in the process. And that's why we cannot just ignore the entrepreneurs. We have to start it. If maybe 60 years, 70 years before this, education would not have started for the girls, probably you might not have seen this one today. Therefore, it is the right time to start the entrepreneurial activities. We may be unsuccessful. We may be having a mixed mode of operation. We may not have a success of the startup or entrepreneur in the first, but we have to handhold them, which is most important. Now, coming back to handholding. What is handholding? Handholding is having two dimensions. If I ask you, in a society, take for example, Giridi, for example, or for example, a small place. If I ask you, a district headquarters, for example, if I ask you, any children or anyone in the district headquarters, what do you want to be? What do you want to aspire to? What will be his or her answer? Be frank. What will be her answer? Suppose if I ask you, what you aspire to? You are a maybe, let us assume class 7 or 8 student. कोई बोलेगा पुलिस, कोई बोलेगा टीचर. करेक्ट? मैं भी मैं कलेक्टर बनूंगा, कोई बोलेगा नहीं मैं डॉक्टर बनूंगा. क्यों बोल रहे हैं? बिकॉज उसका जो सोसाइटी में वो देख रहा है कि दीज आर द पीपुल हु आर रेस्पेक्टेड and who are talked about. Now you just go to Bombay. Nobody will tell that I want to become a IAS. Okay? That fellow will tell, no, कोई business कर लेंगे. You go to Gujarat. We'll do a business. We'll earn money. So that is the first point. The acceptance of the society. If you are able to do that, then the things will automatically come. And who is the society? You are the society, right? If you accept your kid to do that, then that society will accept. Everybody is accepting. So the things will grow. Otherwise, it will be only in the platform of hustle. Okay? Now, suppose someone want to do a entrepreneurial activity. Question comes, why you want to do? Obviously, you want to get money, because without vitamin A, nothing can work. Okay? So that is the first parameter. We should, or that fellow wants to get more money. If he do not have the intention or attitude to get more money, he will be a servant. Service करेगा. Service जो करता है, what is that? He is a servant. I am servant to government of India. Maybe in my house there is one maid servant who is servant to me, right? That is what serving. I am giving a salary. So anybody who get a salary is indirectly a servant to someone. But an entrepreneur, a person who is doing his own business, is not servant to him. So what is the main difference between them? The main difference is a servant is dictated by someone. मुझे अभी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया बोलेगा कि you have to come to Delhi for meeting. Yes, sir. Now अगर ऐसे ही कलकत्ता का डायरेक्टर बोलेंगे नहीं, ये कॉन्फ्रेंस करना है गिरिडीह में. Yes, madam. Right? Because we are basically accountable for some purpose. Because I am being paid for it. I have accepted that this is my duty, and therefore, whenever you join any company or anywhere, there is something called code of conduct. And you have to be abide by that code of conduct. A perimeter defined, which is not there in the case of an entrepreneur. He is a free bird. आज छुट्टी करना है, ठीक है. कल 10 बजे तक काम करना है, ठीक है. Today I want to go to Calcutta, okay. Tomorrow I want to go to Delhi, okay. I will not go to office today, okay. So the schedule is mine. On the other hand, when you try to do some job, the schedule is not yours. The schedule is dictated by someone else. So how much thin line you will put will make the entrepreneur the success. I initiated a company in 2018 of my own. I have a startup of my own. So I have seen how tough it is to convince a person to purchase you. Because if you are an entrepreneur, you have to sell something. You are a salesman, nothing else. Correct? And when you want to sell in the market, what is the market? Market is again a society, right? कुछ लोग बन के market तो, suppose I am making a fan. There are many multiple manufacturers of fan. That is the society of that fan manufacturer. So everywhere you will find out this societal approach. Now, it is just like if you are going to any sea, suppose. हम बोलते हैं बड़ा मछली छोटा मछली को खा ले. करेक्ट? बंगाल में तो मछली बहुत खाते हैं ना, हम भी खाते हैं उड़ीसा, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं खाते हैं. So we have seen that there is something also a word called, I don't know what is the Bengali is, Sheula macho, you know. Kerandi macho is there one, which is a small fish. And Sheula macho is there, which is a big fish. So you put a kerandi, a Sheula will come, you will take that kerandi and you will hold the Sheula. Because uska kaanta lag jayega. So there is a proverb, put a kerandi and take a Sheula. So the story says that whenever you are in any market business, specifically where vitamin M is involved, a big shot will always want to kill a small one. Right? Now, you are dying, your entrepreneurship gone. How do you sustain yourself? Because anything you take, you will find out someone else in that domain, which is happening too. What is, if you see, in a way, direct or indirect way, China is doing for us. You go to any material or any device, lot of import is happening from China. That will happen because you can protect something by making a rule in the government procurement. You may make a rule of make in India, this percent, that percent, all these things you can put in a government procurement. But can you regulate that for a private procurement? It is my wish. I have money, I am purchasing this fan or that fan. Who are you to say? You may put a import duty on that to make Indian product cheaper than the other. But I cannot say, according to the World Treaty, I cannot say that this country thing should not enter or that country thing shouldn't enter. Now, under that circumstance, you see there are many products where an Indian entrepreneurs are coming. The international player are reducing their price. The price they will reduce by 60%. So what will happen? I will, as an Indian entrepreneur, will never be able to compete with them. And they have already get their share. They, in the process of 5 years or 7 years, they have already earned their money. So now even if they lose some percentage, that does not matter to them. But they want to control the market. Because if you flourish, they are in trouble. And that's why we in India are successful in software. Software as an entrepreneur activities, we are successful because it is more manpower. A coding has to be done by a human being. Anyway, now ChatGPT is coming. So ChatGPT is helping a lot. But a code is to be written by a human being. So wherever a human being is involved, we will lead definitely. Wherever automation is coming, it will be very tough for us to compete with the world. Therefore, agriculture as an entrepreneur is a very good domain to start with because it will involve human. It will involve human power, which we are fortunate to have. But other countries are linguistic. As a result, if we look to the entrepreneurs in the agricultural sector, we have to go for a mix of technology and the conventional approach. The Indian knowledge which is available should be included in a proper way in a technological. I will give you a small example. When I joined IIT ISM, when I joined IIT Dhanbad, the environmental department called me. I was moving to different department. I went to environment. So they showed me a very interesting way of a mix of technology and the Indian knowledge system to make a tree grow. Why normally a tree dies? At the sapling point, if you see, what is the success rate of any sapling to become a tree? Any idea? Roughly, I'm not saying a exact number. 1%? 1% बहुत कम होगा. कितना होगा? 20%, 15 to 20%. Why the sapling dies? What is that case for a sapling? गाय खा लेता है. तो there are trees जिसको तो गाय खाएगा नहीं. सपोज नीम का ट्री ले लो, कोई खाएगा, ठीक है, वो भी तो मर जाता है. क्यों?
Some soil disease is affected there.
सब
Soil disease is affected there.
वो बहुत रेयर. बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम क्या है? गर्मी. इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में आप सोचिए, अभी बारिश हो रहा है, आफ्टर में भी अगस्त, ये सितंबर हो गया, आफ्टर दैट यू नॉट गेट रेन टिल 8 months. And to grow a sapling once to a little bit level of 2 or 3 years, you need humidity. And after that वो automatically grow करेगा, और उसका root चला जाएगा and it will extract the water. No need to do anything. So what they have done, they have taken a matka and they are calling it to be matka system. अब जो भी नाम दो. So you make 2 holes rather instead of 1. एक में वो मटका रख दो, एक में ट्री को लगा, and at the bottom you put 3 holes and एक सुतली लगा दो, and वो मटका में पानी रहे. So it will always make the soil humid. And if you protect the tree for 2 or 3 summer, then it will not die. So this matka is there for a long, pani is there for a long, but this simple connection of a sutli, so to say, to make the soil humidified is the technology we need. And if suppose that is marketed properly, then you will get a good entrepreneur. Because in this domain, China will never come or Germany will never come. But we need lot of trees to be planted, and our forest department is spending huge amount of money. Like that, if we can go for small intervention where technology is involved, maybe all of these farmings are being done with diesel generators. Can we provide a moving energy systems? That means diesel generator जैसे फार्मर खरीदता है, हाउ खरीदता तो नहीं है, वो भाड़े में लेता है, take in rent. So do something, maybe with the help of a battery, maybe the help of a hydrogen system, which is parallel to a diesel generator, environmental friendly, and you will be able to do the same job like a diesel generator. So what is the advantage of that? As a country, we do not have petroleum reserve, and we import all things from more or less outside. And you reduce it. So first of all, the $1 billion which was going out will remain inside. Second, pollution is controlled. Third, you will get vitamin. I will give you a very small example. In Delhi, 11:30, I should complete. Okay. There was a slum area, Delhi, Bombay, you know, there are many slum areas. And there was a lot of talent, specifically the women has lot of talent in those areas. They do this, what is that called? Silai वगैरह करते हैं, embroideries, handicrafts. So those type of things they do. But they do not have this Aadhaar card, residence number and those things. And also they do not have money to go for electricity connection. And remember, in the Indian context again, it is not in the US or anywhere. If I ask you to give me 10 rupees each day, you will give me 10 rupees each day. But if I ask you to give me 1,000 rupees, you will say, no, I don't have that. Because we earn and consume, earn and consume. So, if I ask you to go for electricity connection by paying 5,000 rupees, I will say, I don't have that. How do I get it? But if I ask you, can you give me 10 rupees each day? Le lo. Dekho, all these savings in the rural area, each day 10 rupees, each day 10 rupees. It works very well. Small scale financing sort of thing. Okay. So, what that fellow was doing, you know, solar lantern, you must have seen many people. What is solar lantern? It is having a LED light. There is a small battery. On the top, there will be a solar panel. Keep it on the sun, it will charge the battery. In the night, you switch on. Now, even the socket sort of thing has come, many things has come. So that fellow, an entrepreneur, invested 1 lakh rupees, purchased 100 solar lamps, gave it to a manager who is a little bit dada of that area. Okay. And the manager's job was to rent it to the people and get 10 rupees from them. The rentee, basically who is taking that, he will run it for 4 to 5 hours in the evening. His children will read, that is one advantage. And the handicraft she will be able to do for another 5 hours. So, ek sari agar silai kar liya, then that fellow was getting around 40 to 50. So there is no problem in spending 10 rupees. Because 50 rupees in lieu he is getting. These 10 rupees will be taken by the manager, 6 rupees will be given to that investor, 4 rupees is his pocket. And what is the job? Each morning he will bring that lantern, be on a field, keeping all 100 on the field, because somebody should not steal it. And in the evening again give it as a rent. That model was very good. The investor happy because the return of investment is almost in 1 year. Manager is happy because 400 rupees per day. Very good for him. His job is only to see that it is not manhandled or it is not mishandled. And it should not be stolen. फील्ड में जैसे हम पहला अभी भी हम क्या करते हैं, गाय जब जाता है एक बाड़ी लेके छड़ी लेके खड़े होते हैं ना, खाएगा कहीं नहीं जाएगा मेरा काऊ। सेम थिंग आई एम लुकिंग फॉर इट। I don't need any brilliant mind in that, but I need what? Human resource. So like that, if you can do small interventions where human capital is needed, probably the agricultural entrepreneurs will become a success. If you look for a big financial activity in that, then it will take long time. I'm not saying that it is not possible. It is possible, but it will take long time. Maybe 50 years, 60 years down the line, we'll be able to see that. Like Japan is doing. What Japan is doing? He do not have any raw material of his own. He is taking it from other countries and sending the finished product to us. He is taking our maybe food material and processing them in a better way and giving Cerelac to us. वही wheat लेता है हमारे से and 1 kilo wheat को he make it Cerelac and sell it in 500 rupees. Correct? So that art of processing in a high end will come in a process of time. It will not come in a day. But if you do not start at all from the beginning, you will never see the light. Therefore, it is required, and you are the torch bearer for these activities. Make slogan for that and introduce entrepreneurship in your society first. And then it will lead to the district level, state level, and finally to the country. Thank you for giving me a patient hearing, and thanking you for inviting me.
It was such a wonderful talk, sir. It was really thought-provoking and mind-blowing, and I should say, and such a beautiful keynote address. In fact, it's a sociological thing. You primarily focused on sociological aspects. This is really incredible. Talked about social values. You talked about society. You talked about that how small interventions and innovations can make big things. This is truly instrumental. Very grateful to you, sir. So now, without taking much time, I should invite our faculty colleague, Dr. Pradeep Bhattacharya, to deliver vote of thanks.
Very good morning to everybody. First of all, thank you. Thank you for being with us. I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Sir Professor Mishra from IIT Dhanbad, and also our director madam. And special thanks to Professor Koviraj, Professor Mitro, and other faculties from different parts of the India. And thanks to all the research scholars, students for their presence over here. And but last but not least, to all the staffs of ISI Giridi for this plan, wonderful plan, and executed this thing. And sir, one thing for your knowledge, this ISI Giridi, it's especially the two departments over here. One is agricultural and ecological research, and one is sociological research. Over here, one postgraduate diploma course, it's the agricultural and rural management with statistical methods and analytics course is running over here, and it's a 1-year course. And we are selecting the students from all India examination. And apart from that, we have different doctoral programs. the PhD students, all are from, it's not from the special statistics and mathematics. It's from the other branches in science and the social science. Like in the social science branch, we are accepting the students from the economics, social science, behavioral science, etc. And in the science background, the students, the research scholars over here, the different branches like botany, like zoology, environmental science, chemistry, uh, biotechnology, etc. Agriculture, especially. And somebody told that soil-borne disease, it's young. The research is going on over here. Also, it's an agricultural field. And environmental science, as you talked about the environmental science and engineering department. Some students is also working over here from the environmental science and engineering department from your institute. And also we are getting the help from one of my friend actually in your department in the applied geology, Professor Ajay Bhaunik. So the students are doing PhD and we are selecting them from they are basically from the different projects. We have the internal, external projects. I have another faculty, Professor Abhishek Mukherjee and Dr. Bera is over here. We have different internal, external projects. And also the CSIR and UGC NET qualified. And also ISI, each and every year is taking the JRF, Junior Research Fellow in the All India examination. And it's a very unique because in the CSIR and UGC NET, it's a 5 years program. But ISI JRF, it's a 7 years program. So they are getting actually 7 years fellowship from the institute. So that's it. And thank you very much for being over. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This inaugural session is now over. Now we'll have a group photograph. So in fact, it could be really great to better if our director Madam was there. But anyway, we have distinguished faculty members, and of course we have the director at ISM also. So we'll have a group photograph. Then we'll have I think 15 to 20 minutes free break. Then we'll reassemble for the technical sessions. We have 3 wonderful technical sessions today. I request all of you to be here again sharp at 12. Anyway, if, of course, after this group photograph.